Hey everyone, welcome to Tarot Tuesdays. I'm Nimmi. I hope you all are doing well. This week's card is Wheel of Fortune. Now, Wheel of Fortune is my birth card. I'm 10th of October born, so I'm a double 10. Wheel of Fortune is in my DNA. Now, let's see what this is all about. And I'm not going to go into the details, the symbols and everything, because that is something you can easily do a Google search and you will find a lot of information out there. In these videos, I want to share my thoughts, what I have learned from these cards, okay? But if you want to learn more about these cards, if you have a question, you can always send me a message, and and I will be more than happy to sit down with you and talk about these cards, okay? Now let's begin, see what this is all about. So Wheel of Fortune is ruled by the planet Jupiter. Now Jupiter is all about growth, expansion, good fortune, good luck energy, movement, travel, something to do with overseas and foreign connections. And this is fire element, and fire has to do with ambition, high energy, excitement and passion. And the card is number 10, and 10 has to do with completion, endings and beginnings. So this energy represents change, major changes happening in one's life, transitions, a turning point in one's life. And this also has to do with destiny. Wheel of time is what it's called. So something to do with destiny, karmic cycles, and also past lives. So whenever this card shows up in a reading, this reminds us of the impermanent nature of things, because the wheel is always rotating, right? So things are always changing. The energy is always shifting. So if we are going through a tough time, and if this card shows up, it reminds us to stay more positive and optimistic. That is also what Jupiter represents. Jupiter is all about hope and optimism. So then, why worry about the fleeting nature of things, right? Even our life on this planet is temporary. So why lose ourselves in the temporary, right? So that's what this card reminds. So if we are going through, if things are going well, it could mean coming across some challenges. But if we are going through a difficult time, and this card if this card shows up, then that means things are things are going to change very soon. So it reminds us to stay more optimistic. And and if the circumstances are not favorable, the card reminds us to stay more centered, because if we are on the edges, we might come under the wheel and get crushed, right? What I mean by that is, these changes could be happening due to factors outside of our control. So if we are trying to struggle with things and try to figure things out, it only leads to more frustration, because these changes could be happening for our own highest good, So it reminds us not to resist these changes. Instead, trust the process and go with the flow, regardless of the circumstances. So, and stay connected to our own intuition. That is also what this card represents: intuition and psychic awareness, knowledge and wisdom. So yeah, and when this card shows up in our reading, this means that the person we are reading for is going through a transition. It could be that they are, it could be forward momentum, progress happening in their life, or it could also be revisiting some past events. It could be relationships, a job situation, or it could also be habits and patterns, something to do with health, things like that. So this means that, this reminds them to be very careful of the choices and decisions they are making, because this has to do with destiny, and we create our own life, right? So whenever this shows up, that means this is a turning point, and they have to really slow down, pay attention to what's happening in their life, what kind of experiences they are coming across, and be very careful of the choices and decisions they are making, because this is going to impact their future, their life, things like that. And what happens is, when when a change is happening and when things are out of our control, sometimes we make fear-based decisions, because our mind wants to feel a sense of control and comfort, right? And so our tendency is to make fear-based choices and decisions. But if this card shows up, then that means we have to really pay attention and really slow down and be careful of the decisions we are making in order to create positive changes in our life. So that's what this energy is all about. So good luck energy, forward momentum, progress, positivity, optimism, and and the message for us is go with the flow and trust the process. Do not resist these changes, because these changes could be happening for our highest good. So there you go, my dear. Again, if you have any question and if you want to learn more about this card, please do send me a message. And tarot enthusiasts, please do share your thoughts. How do you interpret this card? It's always nice to learn something new, right? So please do share your thoughts. So I will see you next Tuesday with another card. Till then, please take good care of yourself and have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye-bye.